we're talking about real estate, how it changes, why I went to EXP, and I think you guys have got some questions for me. So fire away, it's your best shot.
Yeah, so we're actually going to go over some questions that we have people ask all the time, which is why we're going to go over them, because if we've met some people asking us questions multiple times, we're sure that, you know, one, if not more of you in this group has had that same question if you don't know much about EXP. So that's what we're here for today. But please feel free to participate and ask any other questions that we may not ask today. We'd love to discuss further with you, whether it be in this platform or more on a one-on-one type meeting. So I'll go ahead and start. One of the questions that we've heard, if you'll go into detail about, so EXP, we've moved over almost 2 years ago now. What was your top #1 reason why you switched after so many years with RE/MAX?
Well, actually, I was talking to somebody from Greensboro this morning, which we need to call back, but we hadn't had time to today. And he's a broker there, and somebody told him to call me. And he's been quite successful for a long time. He's got his own brokerage, this, that, and the other. And that's where I was. I was with RE/MAX, and, you know, a nickname for RE/MAX. RE/MAX was really good for me. I did great with RE/MAX. I did great with that model, but their nickname is FEMAX instead of RE/MAX. And that is because they have large fees, and that's okay. I paid those fees for a long time because the name was good. The name was recognizable. And that's a great thing when you don't have your own name built up. You need to go with a company that maybe is recognizable. That was my thought, at least when I got into real estate. And I went to RE/MAX pretty quickly after I got into real estate. So, but after 20 years in real estate, I was still paying them all those fees. So I was really headed straight towards being an independent agent. And by that time, you know, I had past clients built up, a little bit of marketing, people, a little bit of equity, sweat equity. People knew my name. So I said, I'll just go be Marti Hampton Real Estate. And I am. That's what I am now. I am Marti Hampton Real Estate, my own brand, brokered by EXP, or Marti Hampton Real Estate at EXP. But what EXP did when I glimpsed at them, when I took the time, and let me tell you about this, you know, before I actually seriously considered EXP, many people approached me. I won't say many, I'll say 4 to 5 people approached me about the concept. And I wouldn't even listen. I mean, my shields were up and my mind was not open because frankly, the people that approached me had not done what I had accomplished in real estate. And so it was hard for me to, even though that may be wrong of me, because I think you can learn something from anybody if you open up your mind, no matter whether they're the lowest on the street person, you can learn something from them, or the highest up. But my mindset was, you know, that I didn't necessarily care for their introduction to EXP. So it was until I had people in my sphere that I actually knew extremely well. And when they started mentioning it, I started thinking about it. And I looked at it and you know, I told you one of the first things that caught my attention on RE/MAX, on EXP, was that they offered healthcare. And to me, that was huge, because as a single parent raising 3 kids, healthcare was always a concern for me. And no other real estate company had solved that problem. And I've been working over 20 years in the industry, and nobody had thought about the agent. And so that was just the first thing that I started seeing, where they actually put the agent first. They actually started thinking about the agent's retirement. They started thinking about ways that the agent could actually work 20 years and have a residual monthly income, a retirement check. And those things attracted me. So that's why. That answer the question?
Yeah, I'm sure you can go on and on, but that I've heard you mention that is one of the #1 reasons for the switch.
Yeah.
I have
other questions.
a lot of people ask, I've been on my own for a long time, is it better to be on a team or independent? And kind of the pros and cons of those.
I've never been totally independent. I was headed towards independent, but I wasn't independent. But I'll just give you a point of reference. I'm an only child. I was a divorced parent of 3. I've always liked to work with people on a team. I've always liked to enjoy the thrill of victory or the agony of defeat with those around me that I felt like were invested a little bit in the game. So I've always enjoyed the team concept. And I think big things are done with teams. So that's it. Now, the people that are independent, they've got Sally Smith Realty or whatever that is. They're very invested in their name. And I certainly understand that, because I think you ought to be invested in your name in this industry. However, I don't really think that you have the opportunity to have people come in to work for you that actually will have the opportunity to do more than you. And with the EXP model, everyone that comes in and joins us as a team member or as an expansion team member has the opportunity to do equal or better than I've ever done in this industry. And I think that's a true opportunity. So that's why it attracted me. Why a team, individuals that do their own thing, they're at the top. They're the top. They're the rising star. They're the star that everybody looks at. And it's all about them and their name. And it's not really about those agents that come in there. And, there's a certain percentage that come to work for you that can excel what you have done. And I wanted to be in a model that enabled the next single parent that had 3 kids to raise to do whatever she needed to do to give her children the opportunities of a single parent. And that's hard to do in a traditional business. So that's hard to do in a traditional model. So the indie model, to me, can be a little bit ego-driven. I'm not saying everybody that owns an independent model is ego-driven, but it doesn't think about the agent. And that's the one thing I've really enjoyed about EXP is Glenn Sanford, who is very shy, by the way. I just saw Grant Cardone embarrass him like crazy in Vegas. But he really had the agent in mind in everything that he did, in every way that he put this company together. So the agents actually own the company, and it's become 70,000 strong now. So those are the things that an independent can't do. And even though I've talked to many really big independent agents who say, oh, well, I give my agents this and I give them the chance to invest in that. And perhaps they do. But EXP has done it on a level, both by the stocks that they offer and by rev share and by awards that you get just for doing your job. You're going to get something just for doing your job. So I don't think you can equal it. I don't think any independent can allow me to do business in 50 states. So I don't think the offering is the same. Let's put it that way.
Right.
You got it?
Yeah. I mean, there definitely, the more we learned about EXP, even after we transitioned, for the little bit of aspects that we did, or that you did choose to go from RE/MAX to EXP, for those reasons alone, we continue to find out more and more about how the perks that are offered with EXP that you just can't find with other brokerages. So it just, for all that, made more sense. And then what about part-time agents? Is there a fit for part-time agents within EXP?
I think there really is, because the model is in a cloud brokerage. I think the majority of agents, if you look at the agents throughout the United States, the NAR says the average agent, I don't know, I've heard it as low as 6, I've heard 8, I've heard 10, the highest I've heard is 12. That'd be 1 house sold a month. I cannot believe that everybody that's got their real estate license has averaging selling 1 house a month. So I think it's a perfect fit for part-time agents because it's very low fees. It's $85 a month. It's $149 to join EXP. And you've got everything that you need online. You know, with the working from home era that we're in right now, it's perfect. As long as you got fairly decent internet service, you're in business. I had 2 questions come up I want to answer right now. It says, can you talk about splits for a team? And, you know, all the teams at EXP, my team splits might be a little bit different. They're going to usually be similar, but they usually start out at 50-50. And of course, if you're an independent EXP agent, there is no split because you're not joining a team. You're coming in on your own, and that's 80-20. You get 80% of your commission until you pay a $16,000 cap. And then I got a question on chat too. Is there an office in Wilmington, Carolina Beach area? And the answer is yes. You have got to call us because I know somebody down there that's very successful that I think would be an asset to you. So I'd love to talk to you about that. So call us after the Zoom. But going forward with my questions, ladies. Speak up too. I can barely hear you.
I've agents ask, you know, I've heard that I have to pick a sponsor. How do agents go about picking the right sponsor for them?
Well, a lot of them don't. So that's an error. Pick a sponsor that you want to be your mentor. Pick a sponsor that can help you if you eventually have people that you want to bring in to create a downline for you, to create an expansion team for your own self. So I'd say pick a sponsor that can help you in your business, help you grow your business. If you want to grow a team, pick a successful team leader that you'd like to emulate, somebody that has done it and been successful at it. So I think the sponsor is very important. And there's people that are going online. This is how this company is growing too. They're going online every single day and they don't even pick a sponsor. And so they're assigned a sponsor. And to me, that's very scary. I would definitely pick a sponsor that you had something in common with, because there's 2 things. You don't want to give up your real estate business. Your real estate business is your base. What you want to do is, by joining EXP, is add additional streams of revenue. And the additional streams of revenue that you can add, of course, one of them is rev share. And rev share just means that you're talking to other agents in town, in state, or in any of the 50 states that you think might benefit from joining EXP. So when you're thinking about your sponsor, think about the person that can help you talk to that person and express the things that would be important to them about EXP and the things that would benefit them, frankly. And
so EXP, with our group growing 70,000 strong, and like you just said, it really does matter who you surround yourself with, who you choose as your sponsor. So if someone were to choose you as your sponsor, do they only have access to you, or can you kind of go into detail about that?
They got access to you, Martha. They've got access to our whole team. I've got fabulous team members that have been with me for a long time. Got a closing department. I think they're the best closers in town, not the least bit bashful about saying this. I mean, my people are good. There are very few people that you feel that you can give a contract file to that they won't screw it up before it gets to closing. My closers know how to do this business. They do it at a very high level. But I've also got a listing department. You know, we work very hard on the preparation for the house. And I like to say in this market that even Donald Duck can sell a house. But the problem is Donald Duck won't necessarily be working for the highest offer and the most offers. And the way you get the highest offer is to make a splash, you know, build a fire. And we do that through Coming Soon Homes. And of course, any agent that joins and is a partner with us has access to a 30-day Coming Soon promotion, an exclusive website that has millions of people that go to that website from all over America. And a lot of people are going on that website. that are moving here. As you know, right now, we're a relocation hotspot. So our partners get access to me, and they get access to you, Martha. They get access to Nicole and David in our marketing department, who do a fabulous job of marketing, can help them with things like that. So no, they don't just get me. And they also, you know, I actually answer the phone. That's something kind of weird, but I do. So I enjoy that. I enjoy talking about real estate.
Everyone try calling her after this soon.
No, don't. No, not ever. Talk to me.
Okay, so here's a really honest question. What do you like least about EXP?
You know, I'm not a super huge techie, and the world and things like that are in the world. I've got people that handle that for me. So, but it doesn't mean that I wouldn't like to have the time to explore it more than I have. I mean, it's an incredible tool. I mean, I don't even know all the details of it, but the technology that's behind it is from NASA or something. I mean, it's got some real high credentials as far as the technology is concerned, and KV Core. So I'm not a big technical person. And as you know, Nicole, from trying to get me to do all the Facebook and all the stuff that everybody's doing, and I'm not huge on that right now. So what I like least about now, but I'm not sure that that's EXP related. I think that's just real estate and how real estate has changed. But I'd say the least favorite thing, I told somebody actually that's going to join EXP with us from another state that has a huge team, does about 800 deals a year. And this person asked me the same question. It was a good question. I said, what do you like least about it? And understand that the different ways of getting income at EXP, one of them is rev share. One of them is, of course, awards. You get awards for just doing your job, which I can go into with you. But if you're going to be somebody who has the base of selling real estate and work on rev share, some days it's going to feel like you don't have enough hours in the day and you got 2 jobs instead of 1. So that would be probably something you're focused on 2 things instead of 1. That would be least favorite. I like to focus on 1 thing and drill down hard. What else?
How about if an agent does join? And I mean, we've seen this time and time again. We've got agents from other brokerages that, you know, when they signed up, they were a new agent. They just signed wherever they were told to sign. And now that they've looked into EXP and they want to come join us, they find out they can't, it's not that easy to leave. How if for any reason an agent wants to leave EXP once they do join, can you go into the fine print? I think that's very important too, because when you're looking at interview brokerages as a new agent, this is one thing people don't think about.
It is indeed. And actually, I'll talk about EXP. With EXP, it's very difficult to change sponsors. When you join up, you might join up with a friend that just went through real estate school with you. And that might seem like the right thing to do, but it's never the right thing to do. It's always the right thing to do, to think about, who do I want to surround myself with that can help me and help me grow my business and help me grow my rev share and give me good advice when I need good advice. And who's going to help me when I'm in trouble? You know, who's going to help me when I've got a hard deal going on and I need some seasoned advice. But what I see happening, so that's what I would say for EXP, because you have to leave EXP for 6 months and be unaffiliated before you can come back in under the right sponsor if you decide that you're under the wrong sponsor. And that is such a huge benefit. I don't know how you could really derive all the benefit that you can derive from EXP if you don't thoughtfully think about the sponsor. But let me switch to my other companies that are out there. Let's say, I don't know. Let's say Caldwell Banker. Let's say Allen Tate. I'll just name names. Isn't that just?
And we're not speaking down on any other brokerage.
We're not speaking down. Yeah. This is just true. This is just the way it's been. agents come in, maybe they come in after they just freshly get their license, and they sign that contract that they have no idea what's all in that contract. And then they decide a year, 6 months later, year and a half, that they've got a better opportunity with XYZ company. It might be EXP or whatever, and they want to go. But they signed a contract that said that that company does not allow them to take any transactions, any deals that they have under contract with them. And that is really sad. And that is really old school. And that is really a way of doing business that is fading out fast because of the fantastic young generation that we've got that's all about cooperating and working together. That's the kind of the whip way of doing business. You can't leave us because we're not going to pay you for the deals you got under contract. So be careful on both of those things. Anything else?
I'm not sure if we went over this, but Emily had a couple questions about splits and cap, and also if there is a CRM with the
CRM is KB Core, which one of my agents that switched over with me from Remax was Thomas Wall. He paid $500 a month for KB Core. It's part of your tech package when you join EXP, which is a great systematic CRM. And as far as splits are concerned, a regular EXP agent split is 80-20 and a $16,000 cap. Now that if you're an independent agent and you come to EXP, you'll pay EXP 20% until you've paid $16,000. And that's usually in our market, I don't know, it's around 12 deals. And anything above that, you could actually go up to what we call icon. If you sell about 20 more homes from there, there's a certain number to this and we can get exact. But if you were to sell those first 12 homes plus another 20, you do what's called icon. And at icon, they actually give you back the $16,000, which is amazing. It's an amazing opportunity. It's an amazing opportunity for your future and for building a business, a financial plan, financial stability. If you come in on a team, the team is going to be different. There's different teams in EXP. As I said a few minutes ago, the typical split is usually 50-50, but it's something you sit down and go over the team leader with and tell them what your goals are, this, that, and the other. And there's usually tiers. The more production you do, the higher the split goes in my team. So that's the way that works. Did I make that clear as mud?
Always, right?
Hey, I want there's some other people on there. Is there any other questions?
I know. Come with the hard questions, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Does anybody at this point want to come on? And okay, Emily had another question actually. Oh, you wanted to know what the cap is in regards to someone that's on a team. It all depends on the size of the team. So you're going to have to take into account the EXP split is still going to be 80-20 until you pay your cap. But the difference is if you're on a team, now Marti is a mega icon team. So she is able to allow her team members a $4,000 cap. Now for somewhat smaller teams, I'm not sure what that number is exactly, but if you were on a smaller team, let's say like 3 agents, I believe the cap then would be reduced to $8,000. Again, you do need to take into account the team aspect of it, which would include a team split. That is the reason why someone were to join a team. They're mentored by that team leader. They get leads from that team leader. And then because of that, they also have a team split. So that is something to consider. Hopefully that answers your question, Emily.
The world is changing. We're just about finished. How many minutes we've been on? We don't want to keep everybody all day long.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to pop on the mic and ask any questions, I'm sure we missed some that you might have wanted to answer. And if you're a little bit, shy today, if you do want a one-on-one conversation with any of us, feel free to reach out. I see Jerry smiling there. Do you have a question at all? Or maybe when you leave this discussion today, you'll have more questions pop up. We love having that discussion with people because we are going to be honest with you. And we've learned a lot these last 2 years. So that's what we're here for.
I just would like to say, you know, about real estate. It's just been, I told you, it's been so good to me. I'm so blessed to have found something that didn't have a ceiling, that had no ceiling. So that was just incredible for me as a single parent. But the future is bright in real estate because of the innovation. It's like you used to go to, I don't know, you used to go to Blockbuster to get a video. Now you go to Netflix. The world is changing. And like real estate, Mike Ferry used to say, real estate is so outdated and antiquated, it's going to be the last to change. And I think he was probably right, because the cloud brokerage is the difference for most people. And if you think about the industry as a whole, and you think about the United States as a whole, and you think about how agents are spread out, it just makes sense for them to work from home. Part-time agents, even full-time agents that are just doing enough in their own business. It might be the second income for a lot of people. For me, it's always been a business. It's always been the main way for business. So I just think it's a wonderful opportunity to learn more about this company, to learn more about teams. And I hope you enjoyed what we had to offer today, because we're here, we're available for you. We'd love to talk to you. There's not anything else.
There is one more question that I think we can answer this one pretty quickly. Maggie had a question. She wants to know, what is the split fee for the sponsor, and how, we went over this a little bit, but how do you find a good sponsor?
Well, I'd ask Maggie what market she is in. Are you in the Triangle at all? Is Maggie in the Triangle?
Maggie is in the Triangle.
Okay. then I think you've got some great sponsors to choose from that have successful teams with EXP. And I think it's up to you to meet with those sponsors. And we can give you a list of those teams. You can go to a large team, mega team. You can go to a smaller team. And it's good for you to sit down with those people and see who you connect with. You know, it's kind of like got some synergy to it. You got to feel like that person gets you and wants to help you rise to your goals, rise to the highest point that you can possibly rise to. And so that's what I would suggest, is to sit down with several of the team leaders, and we could give you all their names. We're glad to do that. And just see who you connect with and see who you think will help you the most in your career.
Gita,
I can speak on that also.
Oh yeah, go ahead, Lou.
On sponsors, I have been at EXP for 1 year. So I'm an individual agent I do have a small team, like 3 people. So I'm the opposite of Marti. And Marti was my sponsor coming in, and we knew each other for many, many years at RE/MAX. I'm not even going to say how long, but we've been in the real estate business a really long time. So I loved RE/MAX, and I loved the concept of RE/MAX. When I went to RE/MAX in the 90s, it was the latest and greatest, the cutting edge, the new place to be, which is what EXP is now. And EXP has been that way for a few years. So when I came, I had Marti as my sponsor. I sat down with her and signed up, started January 1 last year. And I would say there's a whole office of people on Lynn Road that help you. It's not Marti or Martha or Nicole, it's 20 other people too. So I mean, there's probably 50 people really. So you have this whole group of people that help you when you come over, which is wonderful, particularly like a new agent. Even though I'm an experienced agent, I'm not an experienced EXP agent. So when you come to any company, really, you have new software, new technology, and everything's really, honestly, at EXP, it's probably the latest and greatest technology out there. Cloud-based brokerage is unbelievable.
Yep.
So it was a big learning curve for me because I'm old, and learning new things is hard sometimes when you're
she's old and she still skis and goes on horseback rides and does all kinds of things that 20-year-olds wouldn't do. So yeah,
I'm definitely athletic, but I am not technology savvy is what I'm trying to say. But if I can learn it, anybody can learn it.
Good. Okay, guys, we don't want to linger, but we are here. We're going to flash the number down there. If there's no more questions, we're not going to keep you all day long. Thank you for joining us today. Thank you. We can go over this a little bit more methodically with you if we meet with you one-on-one, and we'd love that opportunity. So take care. Have a good day. Talk to you soon.